What are the best tips to create a sales pitch that increases chances of converting the prospect into a customer? It's very simple. Just pick up the phone, call your prospect and tell him what your company is all about, what are the services that you offer, and what are the benefits that the prospect will get from you. But will you get converted with such an ordinary sales pitch? No, right? So what we can do instead of making the conversation engaging for the prospect, instead of doing an ordinary discussion, we ought to be using a sales pitch that focuses much more on providing insight and value than it does in advertising to your company or its features or its benefits. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 tips to write a sales script that will help you converting your prospects into sales. Let's start the video. First and foremost, the pitch isn't about you, it's about them. That's such an important point to make because the prospects only care about their own interest. It doesn't matter to them that you have been in business for 300 years or that you have got the best company or the product. They are only interested in their own world. The main concern is to find a solution to the problems that are currently affecting them. They feel frustrated by the current challenges and they are leaving meetings right now and asking how we will solve these issues. By focusing on the issues they face at the outset of the conversation, we are establishing an expertise and an authority, and ultimately we are engaging with them in their conversation. The second thing is use a whiteboard. This one is one of my favorite techniques that I'm really focused on right now, which is the whiteboard pitch, where we are literally using a little whiteboard at very beginning of a conversation. While you obviously aren't likely to be using a whiteboard over the phone, you can still explain the same ideas without displaying the whiteboard. But if you are using Zoom or in person, using a small whiteboard or by 8.5 by 11 whiteboard or even your iPad, you can demonstrate your expertise and engage them in a conversation by showing them exactly what issues they are facing. Believe me, the more competent and confident a salesperson can be at writing out on a whiteboard in a structured manner, and the more impressive they might be. The third, list the 3 most pressing issues you see. Here is where the whiteboard pitch really help you. Really interesting because our goal is to organize everything in a systematic way and we wanted to optimize the process. I literally start a conversation, I engage by laying out the top 3 challenges that I see with my prospects and use them as an example of my world, which is where I'm talking to a high level executives about sales. I might use a whiteboard to begin that conversation and tell them that right now we are seeing a lot of clients who are facing 3 key challenges. The first is that they are losing sales to low cost competitors. Secondly, they are being treated as just another vendor. Or thirdly, they are struggling to keep up the quota. Which brings to the next component of whiteboard pitch, which is the root cause of each problem. The purpose of this section is to identify the root cause that are causing each of these problems that we face today. What we see is that each of these 3 issues has a root cause, and the first is that salesperson failed to engage in conversations about value. Secondly, they wing the sales process and there is no consistency to the process. And thirdly, so many sales reps do the same thing over and over again that there is no real distinctive quality. The last piece of information is really fascinating and provides a lot of insights, and that is number 4, a piece of data that illustrates the root cause. It is here that you can start showing off your expertise in irrespective of what you are selling. In particular, if you are a B2B vendor but also for a B2C vendor, there will be pieces of information you can share with prospects that will demonstrate the value of being an expert on what are the main reasons resulting in a problem. My next step will be to demonstrate on the screen how I would resolve these three issues using a whiteboard pitch. For an example, observing our data, it appears that only 18% of the salespeople today are actually viewed as trusted advisors who buyers respect. In addition, we found that 68% of the salespeople do, in fact, behave in the ways that negatively affect sales. In addition, less than 25% of the salespeople exceeded their sales quota by the year. These 4 tips will help you in engaging with your prospect and making them curious to move forward with the conversation. But make sure you don't stop here. You will need to talk furthermore to help the prospect in making the decision to buy your product. So here are 4 tips that you can use to create a sales pitch that will help you in engaging your prospect and converting him into the sales. Tell me in the comments below the main issue that you come across while delivering your sales pitch, and I will try to help you with. If you like this video, spread it across with your family, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned with me for an amazing content.